Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tom Crawford with the Stix Stuff Podcast. We're high atop the square in Ellijay, Georgia at the Ellijay Cigar Lounge. Here today, I am so grateful today that Adrian Stover is joining us. Adrian is a young singer-songwriter from Ellijay, Georgia. Went to Nashville and he's back in Ellijay, Georgia, but he is a Nashville recording artist. And we've got some more updates. We have talked to Adrian before, but we've got some more things we want to talk about today. And first off, Adrian, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. One of the things I would like to ask you is, when you were first starting out and you're here in Ellijay, and all of a sudden one day, lo and behold, all your equipment got stolen. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it was 2020. I can't remember exactly when. It was kind of a really rough moment there. My father was working at the old Blue Ridge carpet mill here in Ellijay.
Yeah.
Really big, long, quarter-mile long building. And mostly empty, but he kept up the electrical work in there and everything. Anyway, we talked to somebody that was in there about us setting up and doing rehearsals and like prepping our first album with a band called Echo Chamber. It's my first release to Spotify was Echo Chamber.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's still out there, by the way, if anybody wants to go look at it. But yeah, we set up in a classroom in the middle of this big, huge building, and doors on all sides that we could close in. It was very hidden in that big, huge building, but it was crazy. It was on a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. We went in there, we set everything up, and the next morning we were going to come in there and start working on everything. So the next morning we got a little bit of a late start, and my dad gets this call from somebody over there that they said that the building was broken into.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, damn, that sucks. I hope everybody, didn't get taken for too much, But it was not long after that I got in the car with my bass player at the time, and we drove over there. Dad was just going to check it out, so I figured I'd go too. And we got over there to one end of the building and found out that it was like, it had been burglarized, and, some stuff like an air compressor was stolen, a bunch of tools and all that. And I felt really bad for the guy. I was like, man, that sucks that, this guy got robbed like that. And then I don't know what caused me to want to walk down just a little ways through the building. But God. I did. I went walking down back towards our stuff just to look, and everything was gone except for a $5,800 brand new DW drum set with no cymbal on there costing less than like $250. Not a bit of it was touched at all.
Well, nobody likes a drummer. So.
Well, it was kind of crazy, but like I started thinking, man, like ain't no way in hell that my drummer did all this. Like he hated the album that much.
Well, it was really weird, because when that happened, and you hear all these things around town. Oh, it was an inside job, and blah blah blah. Time goes by, and what happens?
Well, turns out it was two guys that I had no earthly idea who they were, and never heard their name before. Nothing. I don't know. I guess it was just kind of a lucky shot. I guess shot in the dark, and they got lucky with it, or something. I don't know, because like I've never seen those guys. I have no idea anybody. Like I found their Facebooks and everything, and I was like, okay, so these guys don't have ties to literally anybody I know. So I think they just hit that building, scoped it out maybe, and were like, let's see what's in there. And then they were just like, oh shit, here's a bunch of music gear.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's just a crazy story.
But I tell you what, thank God this dude came through for me. I don't really want to name drop, but he's a detective here in Ellijay, and he was on it, man. He was he literally traced it over to like Rome, Georgia.
Wow.
and found every bit of it. I didn't lose a single bit of my stuff at all. I got every bit of it back. It was in a trading post over there.
That's crazy.
It was really crazy. It was
just
surreal.
nuts.
It was very, and then we somehow still managed to put the album out.
That's crazy. So all this happens, and then he's able to get the album out, and then we fast forward a little bit, and all of a sudden, you're in Nashville.
Fast forward quite a bit, yeah. So I went to Nashville in 2024 just to see what it was like up there, and I got up there and started working for the Tootsie circuit for Uncle John Taylor. He provided me a whole lot of opportunity up there when I first got there, and I started playing at Kid Rock's main stage. That was a blast, and the band that I had up there was fronted by me and Carly Lou. She's a very talented recording and artist and performer. She's a powerhouse, and also definitely go check her music out. It's on all platforms, Carly Lou. But yeah, it was a time up there. It was like balls to the walls, basically, as soon as I got a little traction. So when I first moved up there, I actually moved into a like a really nice apartment complex. It was nicer than I should have been living in, and at least I felt so at the time. It had like a balcony. I could like go out there every morning and have breakfast and look out literally over all of Nashville.
That's pretty cool.
It was epic. But I was a little nervous about it and didn't know really which way to turn, so I was kind of procrastinating. I procrastinated for 2 weeks before I even went down to Broadway to do an audition or anything. I just kind of like overlooked it like the Grinch for about 2 weeks, watching Family Guy on the couch. And
then you got into the grind.
Yeah, I got into a deep grind up there and just started working all the time, and damaged my vocal cords up there, but we're getting back to it. It's getting good again.
A lot of people don't understand that Nashville will chew people up and spit them out. I mean,
if you let it, it definitely will.
If you let it, it will.
I think the thing is like knowing when to quit. Knowing, it's just like anything, but like, you know, you make your connections, you do what you have to do, you make your friends, and I've got a lot of great people that I have met up there that still contact me and support me and everything, and it's great that I have made those connections up there, but I just couldn't continue to do Broadway anymore. It was kind of wrecking my voice.
I get that. But not long ago, you got a call and went back up to do a whole series of stuff.
Yeah, so I did like a little mini tour up there. All of it was like at Kid Rock's, but it was really awesome. I got to play with some people that I haven't played with in a long time. So it was a really good like rekindling situation.
That's fantastic. What I'd like to get into now is, you know, this is kind of funny for me because, you know, I do a little music and I've written a few songs, but songwriters, they're all across the board. People do songs in so many different ways. I want to talk to Adrian for a few minutes about songwriting, how he comes up with his songs, and, you know, there's a million different ways with songwriters. I mean, some people will come up with a riff and build a song around it. Some people will come up with a bridge, and they like it. They like the bridge, and then they've got to create a song around it. Some people just come up with a thought and write a song about it. Other people will come up with the melody or the refrain and write a song about it and build the whole song around it. What's your process in it, and how does it come about?
Well, so it can actually, as you said, it can come from a lot of different things. You know, I've gotten it to where, like, you know, I've been driving down the road on my way to a show, and just like pulled off the side of the road for a minute and hummed into my phone, you know, for a minute.
You have to.
Yeah, because if you lose that,
it's always good to have a little recorder of some sorts with you, because that thought will come into you, and then it goes away as quick as it comes in.
That's right.
You
That's
know.
right. I've had it hit me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I turn over and I write it down or hum it out or whatever I got to do. But I've always been pretty good instrumentally with melodies, coming up with a melody, you know, and then, you know, cool. I don't know, for some reason, it's different for everybody. But for me, I was able to kind of just immediately almost just have it all right there. Like in the duration of the song, I've been able to have it just by coming up with like a cool, you know, just like coming up with something that's like melodic, and then just immediately I just start like overflowing with that, like, what could I put here? What could I put there? And then it just a little deeper in thought, and I've kind of got it going on. I usually hit like a chorus first. That comes to me quick.
But that's so cool that you say that, because when something pops in your head, it's so fleeting. You've got to capture it right then.
Absolutely.
Because, like I said, it's fleeting. It will go away. Mm-hmm. I've come up with a couple of songs, you know, mowing the yard. That's why nobody's ever seen them or will ever hear from them, you know, but hey, that's okay. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's just like, you know, mowing the yard songs. You know, it's just like, but I did come up with a couple of cool little ditties while I was out cutting grass. I mean, now that's just freaking stupid, but that's how it happens. Most of the time, I used to travel a lot in sales, and I had a lot of travel time, and I would come up with things, but once again, you got to get them down because it's so fleeting, because then it goes away.
Yeah, it does.
And, you know, it's
aggravating as hell when that happens.
That, I can only imagine. Yeah. I can only imagine, because I don't do it for a living and you do. And, you know, that's
anymore. I don't let it flee. I kind of capture it in the moment, you know, like I'll be in the weirdest of situations. Like you go for a handshake with somebody and you think of it, and you retract that handshake real quick, tell them hang on a minute, and then you get it down, and then you go back about your business. You know, it's not that crazy, but like it's, I mean, you got to really, it's, you know, not, I don't know who all's like in here is like a spiritual or anything like that, but to me, I feel like it's like a God-given gift that you have that thought to begin with. So, like, I feel like if you don't take advantage of it, you're just letting it go for no reason.
That is so true, and that's neat.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just like, keep it up, because that's what it's all about. And we need more, and we need better. You know, independent singer-songwriters are the backbone of the industry, because the whole way the industry has gone, they want you to be somebody that you're not.
A lot of the time, yeah.
Yeah. They really
90% of the time,
especially the big record labels. They, you know, that you have the best country artists out there, or the best Americana act you've ever seen in your life, and a label sees them and says, "Hey, that's great, but we want you to throw some hip hop in there with it." Mm-hmm. I mean, all you've done is just destroy what they're all about.
Yeah.
You know, let people be people. Let songwriters be songwriters, mm-hmm. and the world would be the world would be a lot better off for it. But anyway, that's my 2 cents, you know, for the day.
I like that. Yeah. You know, there's one band out there, the Red Clay Strays. I'm sure everybody's here has heard of that. But they're amazing. They're not quite exactly what I would listen to on a daily, but I have such mad respect for them, because from what I hear, they got like, I think Warner Brothers hit them up for a record deal. Or somebody hit them up for a record deal up to somewhere like Warner Brothers or something. But they were able to turn it down because they were so self-sufficient on their own that they didn't need anything else, even including something as powerful as like Warner Brothers.
That's fantastic.
And that's kind of what I'd like to do, is just be so self-sufficient where I run the show, I run the ship, and it's a tight ship, and I'm in control of it. That way I know where everything's going to go, where all the money goes, and if anything goes sour, it's my situation to handle, you know, and it's all up to me.
So you come up with an album, or you come up with a concept. You put some songs together for an album, and you don't necessarily have to go to Nashville because you've got people right here in our neck of the woods that can produce it. It may need to be mastered in Nashville or whatever, but tell us a little bit about that.
So Robin Salmon of Surrender Hill is who produces my albums, and I think it's going to be who produces my albums forever.
That's
because
Blue Betty Records?
Blue Betty Studios.
Blue Betty Studios.
And he just keeps raising the bar. When he put out, my first album, I was like, man, this is great. I love this. And then he put out something else for me, and it was like better. And now this stuff that we're working on right now, I think in total it's like 26 tracks.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's not going to be all put on one album. It's going to be like
the Adrian Stover anthology.
Well, actually, yeah. So it's actually we were thinking about calling it the Blue Betty Sessions.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because there's so damn many songs on there.
Yeah.
But like,
great.
It's going to be our releasing plan for that is going to be like a song every 2 to 3 weeks until all 26 are done, and then I go back and look at the statistics on which ones were the favorites, and I put 10 of those on a limited run, only 100 of them, limited run vinyl.
Wow. I would love to come out one day while you guys are in studio and film a song or two.
Oh, absolutely.
And I would just absolutely love to do that because, we like to tag songs on the end of our podcast because it's a little bit different. With the Stix and Stuff podcast, we're talking to interesting people, but we also feature local singer-songwriters, and it's so neat to be able to do that. And as long as we can keep doing that, I want to do it. It makes us and sets us apart a little bit from what the other guys are doing. We're not just two talking heads with two microphones stuck in our face. By the way, yeah, this is a podcast. You don't see those little microphone things sticking down in Adrian's face and mine. I don't know where all these people that do podcasts get into that crap because that technology has been gone for years. That's why I've got a wireless mic, and that's why Adrian's got one on. We don't need those damn microphones sticking in our face. This is still a podcast, but if somebody sees it, oh, it's not a podcast. You don't have that microphone sticking in your face. I mean, it's just stupid. So I wish people would kind of get over that.
Yeah.
But anyway, a little rant on my part, but what the heck. But anyway,
gotta throw them in.
Adrian, ladies and gentlemen, once again, been talking to Adrian Stover today, singer-songwriter, local musician, doing great things and going to great places. This is Tom Crawford with the Stix and Stuff Podcast. I tell this to everybody every time we do a podcast. Be good to yourself. Take care of yourself. Be healthy and do something good for somebody this week. Once again, I'm Tom Crawford with the Stix and Stuff Podcast. Stay tuned for a little song from Adrian Stover. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Tom Crawford with the Stix and Stuff Podcast. Without further ado, here's a song from Adrian Stover. Enjoy.
This song's called Blue Eyes Across State Lines. She says she's from the Delta, born by the Bend. A Mississippi moon's her oldest friend. I'm a Georgian boy, red clay in my veins, but life cuts through like a summer rain. Man, I hope this feeling never changes. 2 states apart, but it feels so near. But she whispers, so stay with me right here. Baby, I could swear up and down you were an angel. Yeah, yeah. We're dancing in the kitchen, barefoot on the tile. Her smile's got a way of stopping every moment for a while. Yeah, with the best interest in mind, made it all intertwined, though the past only kept me cold. I could marry the girl, make her my whole world, 'cause the way that she looks tonight, well, it all feels like a crazy dream. Knowing I'm right here and you're with me. Rising like oceans, blue and untamed. But down in Mississippi, love don't feel the same. I'm a wildfire heartbeat, trying not to fall, but she swept me up like I never loved it all. Man, I swear that girl's been writing on my wall. 2 states apart, but it feels so near. But she whispers, so stay with me right here. Baby, I could swear up and down you were an angel. Yeah, yeah. We're dancing in the kitchen, barefoot on the tile. Her smile's got a way of stopping every moment for a while. Yeah, with the best interest in mind, made it all intertwined, though the past only kept me cold. I could marry the girl, make her my whole world, 'cause the way that she looks tonight, well, it all feels like a crazy dream. Knowing I'm right here and you're with me. Yeah, with a song on the radio, my heart starts to pound. Every mile on the way to her is love out loud. Counting down the time till I can take my chances. 'Cause in my dreams we're dancing in the kitchen, barefoot on the tile. Her smile's got a way of stopping every moment for a while. Yeah, with her best interest in mind, made it all intertwined, though the past only kept me cold. I could marry the girl, make her my whole world, 'cause the way that she looks tonight, well, it all feels like a crazy dream. Knowing I'm right here and you're with me, well, it all feels like a crazy dream. Knowing I'm right here and you're with me.